Hello, welcome to John Deere. I'm John.
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Dex.
Thank you so much for coming.
Of course.
Okay, so Dex, I've got a couple questions for you. You think you're ready to answer them?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so first question, why did you apply for this position?
So the main reasons that I applied for the position is that, first off, I know I'm a good worker for the job. I've been working in landscaping for the past 3 years at a golf course in LA. So I know my way around the job. I know the general tools that I'll be needing. And I feel like I'll be able to make a positive impression on the company and work my way up. And that kind of leads to my next point. The next main reason why I applied for the job is I like John Deere's idea of working your way up in the company, starting from the bottom and moving to the top. I think that's really beneficial for me because I plan to start working down at the bottom and work my way up to the top through hard work and perseverance. And hopefully I can make a positive impact on the company and learn a lot while I'm there.
Okay, awesome. Can you tell me about a time that when you persuaded someone to do something?
Yeah, of course. I think a good example of this is back when I was on the landscaping job. One of the tasks that our golf course had to do was put on weddings for different people who applied for weddings at the golf course. And one of the problems was that we didn't have a wedding coordinator or anyone necessarily to do the wedding planning. So I had to convince my boss to let me and the landscaping team do the weddings. And it started off just with one wedding. We just asked him, and he said, yeah, of course you guys can do it. So my team and I set up the wedding, planned everything, did the music, did the preparations around the golf course, made sure everything was nice. And the wedding ended up being a huge hit. Everyone had a good time, and it looked really beautiful. So from that point on, we were sort of the wedding team, and we were asked to do all the weddings from that point on.
Okay, very good. Can you think about a time when you used probing questions to get someone to open up and have a good conversation with you?
Yeah, of course. I think the best example of this is on my current college campus, one of my professors, Dr. Daniel Johnson. At the beginning of the quarter, he was sort of shy, didn't really open up to the students very much at all. So I kind of figured that I wouldn't really end up talking to him all that much, maybe go to a few of his office hours, talk to him in class if I had to. But then one time I went to his office hours and just started asking him general questions because he in class had told us about how he liked to play basketball and how he liked watching basketball. So I asked him about that, asked him where he played and stuff like that. Just general probing questions to see, what he was all about, if I would like him as a person. And it ended up being a really good conversation. Talked for the entire time in office hours just about his general interests and his interest in soil science, how he got into it. And it ended up being a great conversation about just my interests, his interests, and everything in between. And from that point on, I've thought of Dr. Johnson as a pretty close friend of mine. And he's one of my closest advisors on the campus, so it worked out for the best, definitely.
Okay, cool. So how would you say that you organize and prioritize your work activities for the day, for the week, for the month?
Okay, so starting off with the month, just generally I keep a schedule on my computer and on my phone. It just gives an outline of things that I need to get done in the near future and general steps that I have to do in order to get that done. It's just super general when it comes to the month because I know general tasks that I have to do, but I don't know necessarily everything that I have to do at the time. But I get to be a little more specific when it comes to week tasks. I have a reminders app on my phone and a reminders app on my computer as well. And both of those tell me the days of the week that I need to get things done. So say it's a homework assignment due on Tuesday, it'll pop up Sunday and Monday that I need to get it done so I can start taking steps, whittling down my work and making sure I don't leave anything to the last minute because I'm not too much of a procrastinator. And then finally, when it comes to daily tasks, I mostly just end up using the reminders app on my phone or the reminders app on my computer, telling me daily things that I need to do, sort of like a checklist. Just going down the checklist, making sure I'm getting everything done when it needs to be done so I don't have to rush last minute.
And on your landscaping job, can you tell me about when you were most satisfied doing what you were doing?
I'd say the time that I was most satisfied during my landscaping job was when I was working in the pro shop along with on the landscaping job. During that time, I got to meet a lot of the customers and I got to meet a lot of my coworkers better than I had in the past. And just being able generally to work with people and be able to interact with people on a daily basis was really good for me. I consider myself a team worker, so anything that I did with other people was definitely beneficial to me. And it was just really nice being able to meet new people every day, have good interactions with people every day, and really I was enjoying my job during that time. I feel like that's when I was most satisfied.
And how about when you were least satisfied?
That's a hard one. The time I'd say I was least satisfied during the landscaping job was when I was doing the golf range, just cleaning up the balls and mowing the grass on the golf range. I wouldn't say that I was particularly not enjoyable, but I was the least satisfied because I didn't really get to work with anyone else. I was just by myself for a majority of the time, just doing my own thing. And I felt like a lot of the time it was just go in, do my work, and eventually clock out. And I don't like feeling like my only job is just be by myself and do my own thing all day. I'd much rather work in a group with people or just be able to talk to people at any given point in the day. I feel like that would help me a lot. So I feel like that's why I was probably least satisfied during that portion. But even then, it wasn't too unenjoyable. I still got to talk to some people and got to interact with some people during the day.
Okay, that's very impressive. Thank you again for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me.